Hi, this is John Solari from The Method Actor Speaks. And today I have a director guest, and we're going to talk a little bit about the work. And I want you to introduce yourself so I don't get your name wrong.
Hi, I'm Chandra Gerson.
Chandra.
Chandra.
Chandra?
C-H.
C-H. I always get it wrong.
No, that's okay.
All right, tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from?
I'm a native Californian.
Oh.
I was just born on Stanford campus up north.
Oh, Northern
Palo
girl.
Alto, yeah.
Okay.
And then I came down a couple years later
Oh.
when my family moved.
And why did you want to become in this business? Did you start as a director? Or?
Oh, no. I wanted to act. That's what I wanted to do first. And then while I was taking some acting classes, it was actually in Gene and Tony Bua's Acting for Life class where I started writing scenes for class. And then that led to my first short film, Impaired Innocence, in 2009. And then I just fell in love with...
What was the name of it again?
Impaired Innocence.
Impaired Innocence.
Mm-hmm.
What was that about?
Domestic violence.
Which is a great subject to put out there.
Yeah. So...
Is it well, I'm not going to get personal unless you want to talk about it. Well, so it was about domestic violence. Was it people you know, or?
No, It was just bringing forth the social issue of it. Several of my films dealt with social issues in the beginning. Like another one dealt with suicide, which was Broken Image. And another one dealt with cutting and self-hurting. And that was Silent Scream. So...
Those are some heavy subjects.
Yeah.
What made you, I mean, for the audience, why would you want to get involved and put that out there?
Because I think it's important issues.
Why?
That need to be brought forth, you know, because I don't think people realize how often it happens and how much of our youth and young adults are actually, you know, suffering from these problems. And you know, I'm not a psychologist. I don't know necessarily if it's quote unquote a disease, but I mean, you know, suffering from, you know, and hurting themselves the way, you know.
Wow, that is that's really a down. I mean,
sorry. Sorry for bringing the show down.
I mean, that's some heavy stuff.
I like darkness.
I was going to
so,
say.
yeah, that's pretty much my genre.
See, now we got it. Now we got it. You like darkness. I mean, that's now makes sense. And,
yeah.
And most of your films, are they about...
Most of the films are dark, yeah. But I think that, I think darkness can be beautiful, you know, if it's done in a very, very simple way. You know, there is beauty in darkness, just like there's beauty in simplicity.
Well, can you give a synopsis of what you mean by that?
Wow, nobody's ever asked me that. I don't know. I just think that there are certain, you know, aspects. I can't offhand think of a film, or it's just my philosophy, just how I feel.
Well,
you know,
yeah, the feelings. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Right.
Why? You know, what brought you to that? Is it something that in you, or?
I think it's just in me. You know, I think sometimes it has to do with how you were brought up or whatever. But I was okay. I mean, I didn't have anything really traumatic happen to me or anything like that. I just, you know, I think some of us lean more it's like people lean towards comedy, you know, and other people lean towards darkness, other people lean towards romantic comedy. It's just, you know, there's something about darkness that just really, you know, intrigues me, and I love to go there, and I love to create stories, you know, so that come from that.
Is it sensual too?
I guess it can be. I've never really experienced it. I've never experienced that, you know.
So you're not into the pain and that kind of darkness?
No,
Okay.
no.
David
Too
Carradine's. Yeah. Actually, I'm having a good friend of his on tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Did a lot of singing with him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, well, I mean, it can be. I notice when you talk that, I mean, pain sometimes can be. It feels good sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You ever take a hot shower and you
Mm-hmm.
let the water get as hot as it can on your back, and all of a sudden it burns, but then it feels good. You know? But as a director,
Yeah.
now, so this now you have I was looking at your on what is it, the IMDb with the
IMDb. Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you use a lot of the same people too, don't you, in your movies?
Yeah,
Try to?
yeah. When I find good talent, I like to form a good team. It's just like finding a good team that works behind the scenes. You know, if you can find actors that are really talented and really good, you know, why not use them more than once? I mean, you know, Christopher Nolan is a perfect example.
Uh-huh.
You know, he uses a couple of actors over and over again, you know, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As long as long as they, you know, fit the role and they do the job and everything. So.
Yeah, because that's how with Actors Studio the other day they had a film.
Mm-hmm.
We watched a film about the group theater, which was started that way.
Right.
You know, actors, writers, everybody get together
Right.
and use the same people. Actors Studio was like that.
Mm-hmm.
But today, even the casting is so much different.
Yeah.
I was watching a film about Marion Dorothy, the big casting director. I don't know if you know who she was. She was very famous.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
She created casting with talent, not names.
Right.
And because she used to hang out at Actors Studio. But that's all gone now. It's all corporations now. It's who made the latest sex tape, and
Yeah.
you know, they want to know about actors who can. As a director, it has to be frustrating because they want to know how much they're going to sell in Europe.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right.
It has nothing to do with the talent.
No, it's a business.
Yeah.
You know.
Unfortunately,
It is. That's the sad thing, and I think a lot of people behind the scenes, you know, and especially in front of the scenes, don't get that. You know, and it's a double-edged sword, you know, for people, I think, behind the scenes as well as especially in front of the scenes, because, you know, like the big studios and everything, they want you, and casting and agents especially, they want you to have the credits. But at the same time, how do you get the credits if you don't get on set?
Yeah,
You know, so it's frustrating, you know, and it's all about money, and that's, you know, that's the sad thing, is that a lot of times, because there's a ton of undiscovered talent out there.
Yes.
That's brilliant, and if they would just be given a chance, and that's what I love about being in the position that I am. It's kind of hard because I love doing these small independents and stuff like that, but I do have bills to pay. Yeah. And so I would love to become a working a working director, but at the same time, one of the greatest benefits and the greatest joys is I get to discover people and find people that, you know, maybe have been looked over by, you know, big casting agents and, you know, studios or whatever, and because they just haven't been given their break yet, so to speak.
How do you find your talent?
I find it basically it started with Gene and Tony Bua, Acting for Life, and then it kind of branched out, you know, through like Facebook. And I ask around, I ask people that I know. I haven't really gotten to the point where it's like I go on Actors Access or anything like that, because I haven't really had the time to, like, you know, because from what I understand, you get bombarded. You get thousands and thousands and thousands of, you know, and I right now I'm just doing my first feature film. So the other times it was shorts and stuff like that. Because I haven't really been doing this that long. I've been doing it since 2009. So.
What's the name of the feature film you're doing?
Book of Choices.
Book of Choices, yes. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one What is that about?
That's basically, it's like a bunch of short stories wrapped into, so it's like a bunch of short films
Right.
inside a feature film. And it's basically about a guy who reads a book of short stories because he's unhappy and he wants to escape reality. And it's all about choices, you know, and the choices that we make. And there's a running theme throughout the entire film, as well as the short stories, because he's got choices that he has to make, and he has made, and now he has to live with the outcome of those choices. So, you know, and so it's just kind of like a psychological drama that deals with that. And there's twists and turns, and you never really know what you're seeing. And it's not because you're wondering whether or not it's a short story, because you definitely know when he's reading a short story. That's evident. You know, he pulls out the book and he reads it, you know. But there are other situations and areas where you're not exactly sure.
Now you wrote this and,
Yeah.
and producing it and directing it.
So far I've written, produced, and directed all of my stuff.
And so you enjoy writing,
It's not something that I want to do for the rest of my life.
really?
I do enjoy it. What I really want to do is I just want to direct. But, you know, like actors, you know, you have to build a resume and you have to prove yourself. And so that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, and as a female, a woman director, it's even twice as hard. Do you find that? How do you find the business that treats you as a woman director?
I haven't really had any problems.
Oh, good.
I guess I've been lucky in
I'm
that
a big
instance.
fan of women directors.
So, yeah, I haven't come across anybody that's really given me attitude because I'm a woman, or, you know, talked down to me, or never took me seriously. I've worked with great people behind and in front of the scenes, you know, behind and...
I've worked with 2 women directors, and both times I found really, it's just something about women that brings another part of you out.
Yeah.
You know, that feminine side, if you want to call it, or whatever it is, and they just allow you.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed me
Right.
to just go places. Well, I've had that with Brian B. Palmer and David Lynch, you know, too. As you know, as a director, they have let me go where I wanted to go.
Right.
Which I find now as a director, how you said you studied acting. What was the method? Or?
I started off at Strasbourg.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, for I'd say about a year and a half.
Santa Monica Boulevard?
Yeah, on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Do you remember who you studied with?
Oh God, that was years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
Dating myself, but that's okay. Actually, I can't remember. If I look at my resume, I can tell you.
Wow.
And then I went on to Gene and Tony Bua, and the way that I pretty much acted or learned how to act is just through personalization, you know,
Right.
and nothing is what it seems. You know, nothing's ever what it seems to be. You know, you think of something and you drop it in and you get to the place to where you need to be, and then you just drop it in and you let it go, you know, because in my mind, I think from a director's point of view as well as an actor's point of view, there's no wrong way to deliver a scene. It's just up to...
Does it work or doesn't work?
Yeah, it's up to the director's, I think, vision. Yeah.
It's not a wrong or right way. It's,
Right.
Does it work for this or it doesn't work for
Right,
this?
exactly.
You know, that's really the way to look at it. And,
Right.
And I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah.
Arthur Penn was one of my teachers in New York, the director. And he always told me, John, break the rules. And I'm a big believer in that in acting.
Right.
Is by breaking the rules. It's
Yeah.
And it lets you go places where no one else, like Star Wars says, whatever they say.
Yeah.
You know. They let you go.
Yep.
And I really enjoy that. And they do remember you when you do that.
Yeah.
You know, you said you like comedy. Excuse
No.
me. No, I mean, you said you enjoy comedy.
No.
No?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I mean, I enjoy
Oh, you
it.
don't enjoy it,
I
right.
enjoy it to a certain extent. I said that when I was explaining how people like different genres and stuff like that. Some
Right,
people
right.
like comedy and some people like, you know, romantic comedy and stuff. I do enjoy it, but I prefer dramas, you know, personally
Well,
wise.
that's what I was going
Yeah.
to bring out.
Yeah.
Comedy is drama.
Yeah.
And people don't
I
realize
guess
that.
that's true.
You know, it's like you ever have,
Yeah.
you're trying to tell someone something and this and that, and they're laughing, and you say, what the fuck are you laughing at? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, that's
The
true.
drama.
That's true.
Your
That's
drama
true.
is their comedy.
Yeah, that
And
makes
too
sense.
many actors play the comedy instead of playing the drama.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. Martin Landau we were talking about that at your studio the other day, Friday, and it made so much sense. You know, wow.
Yeah.
And you see it all the time where you take someone like what's his name who wrote oh God, what's his name? Oh, we'll go back another time. He's a great, funny Broadway director. Trip for the Bountiful. We're going to something else that'll come
Okay.
to. Too many butts to the head when I was a kid.
Right.
You know, get it's old age. But when you're directing, how do you direct? I mean, do you direct as a? Do you allow the actors to? Well, you tell us. What kind of director you are?
I basically allow the actor to do whatever they want to do. Usually the first take, I give them the freedom to just, because usually I found that usually, especially if it's like the first day and stuff like that, there's nerves and all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, just do it however you want to do it. If they want, you know, if they want to be directed right away, then I do that. I'm very, I like to work with the actor rather than tell the actor what to do type of thing. So I basically just, if an actor is having problems, then I will take them to wherever they need to be, you know, and I like to work from inside out because I think that personal experiences
What is that?
are the
Okay,
best.
is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Personal experiences, emotional memory, and
Right, exactly. And if they haven't, you know, if they haven't had any kind of experience like that, then I'll reach for something else that'll still work for the scene. You know, I have to make it work. That's my job as a director. You know, and so, you know, and a lot of times I'll role play with my actors. I've done that in the past. You know, if they're having difficulty getting to a place where they need to be. And I've been very fortunate, I don't know why, but a lot of actors have opened up to me about really, really personal stuff. And I you know, I use that when we're working, you know. If it helps with the scene. I mean, I'll always ask them first. You know, I'm not just gonna throw it out and shock the shit out of them or anything like that, you know. But I really love working with actors and whatever it takes, you know, to get the scene done.
Is there an instance you could, you know, let the audience know about without giving names? I mean,
With like
you
what?
know, like a situation, how you got something out of an actor, or, you know, what
Oh, I
the
didn't.
problems.
We just started talking, and then they just opened up. I really don't feel comfortable doing that. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's
You know,
it's private things are private things. I
Yeah,
just want to
yeah.
know if people would want to know about it. Which is,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no, there are things that you don't tell,
Yeah.
which is it's got to be private, but gotta ask.
Yeah. There you go.
Because they get out there and say, "Why didn't you ask that?" But yeah, well, directing is it's a lot of work. I mean, you not only have the actors, you're responsible for everyone around you. You're the mother
Yeah.
figure.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody has to come to you.
Mhm.
And the end, it's your responsibility.
Right.
Now, you've done the one before, I saw on you, that you finished. What was the other one you did, the one before this one?
The short films?
Yeah.
Well, we're actually doing the short films now for Book of Choices. So Book of Choices is actually in production right now. We're just doing like a Kickstarter campaign for the main storyline. But the last short story, or the second to last short story that we just wrapped in last month was Salvation of One.
Salvation of One.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you are you writing each one of these short stories, or
No,
or
Book
they
of
get-
Choices is finished. Yeah, I wrote it all.
No, I mean that's what I meant.
Yeah,
You wrote it
uh-huh.
all,
Yeah, I wrote it all.
and how many scenes were there in the film that you had to write?
Wow. I actually don't know how many scenes there
No,
are.
not scenes. I mean vignettes.
You're talking about short stories?
Yes.
I believe there's 4 short stories.
Oh, so 4.
Yeah. 2 of them were short films that I had already done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I put those in because they also worked with, you know, the running theme of choices and everything like that. So, and then Salvation of One and A Gracious War were written, and then Book of Choices, you know.
right. So you're really doing 4 short films in one,
Yeah.
putting them
Mhm.
together. So that's
Right. Mhm.
that's a lot of work too. I mean, and to make them work together.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's a continuation. There's a few movies that I saw like that. I think Crash or something,
Uh-huh.
something like that with different venues and
Right.
people, which was interesting. And although along the same. Now, what is the storyline of this? What do you want people to come away with?
That the choices that we make
Mm-hmm.
always have an outcome. And that, you know, I mean, it seems real basic, but, you know, I think sometimes people don't realize,
No.
you know, or, you know, they'll make a choice without stopping and thinking of, you know, another person or the consequences, you know, because, you know, it can be good or bad,
Yes.
you know.
I totally understand it. I've always been a person who's there
Uh-huh.
before I realize I'm going there.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then when you get there, oh, what did I do?
Exactly. What was I thinking?
You know, and it's
Yeah.
it's called instinct. You know, you're
Yeah.
there before, you know, you're there, and then oh, and
Yeah.
sometimes you wish you could control that, but sometimes you can't. And you're all right. The consequences of the choices you make. I mean, like, I guess that goes back to, you know, if you make your bed, you sleep in it.
Right.
The
Yeah.
same idea.
Right.
And
Exactly.
it's an interesting topic, and you have a website, or how do people get to come and see this?
Well, we do have a website, an official website for Book of Choices. It's actually, it's my name. It's strange. That's how it was brought up, because it's like Wix.com
Right.
or something like that. So just the way that it was set up was kind of weird. But if you go, we have a Kickstarter, like I said, because
Right.
that's for the main storyline. That's going to cost a lot of money, and that I don't have. And so we're hoping people will contribute, you know, or at least pass the word along.
And they can go on Facebook and find a lot of this information.
Yes, Book of Choices does have a Facebook page.
Yeah, that's good to. Oh, that's good to have
Yeah.
its own.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I think I went on that,
Yeah.
and because then it's so much easier. Then that'll get people to go right to the website and everything.
Right.
And this Kickstarter is. A lot of films are being done that way.
I know. I was amazed at how much money has been raised.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's great.
And it's all new. And it's the only way for the independent to get the work out there, which is something that's not being done.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to the Directors Guild this week and I saw, some X-Men,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but I'm sitting there the whole time thinking, this is what it's come to. Corporations making these big films,
Yeah.
and they get everybody's coming from England, or American actors. Forget about it. They just don't use them anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think the really sad thing is that storylines, real good storylines, have gone out the window. You know, and it's like it's all CGI and. You know,
What is CGI?
Computer graphic
Okay.
imagery, you know, type of thing. And CGI does have its place. Don't get me wrong. I have loved CGI. I've seen films where it really works, but I think Hollywood is depending too much on it, and the real story is getting lost. And that's what I love to do. I love to do stories. I love to do films that have a message, that get people thinking, and really also, so hopefully people really enjoy themselves as well. You know, I don't want to make a film just for the sheer pleasure of entertaining. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, and on that,
Yeah.
I'm going to come and do